Good evening, friends. How are you all doing on this Monday evening, January 13, 2020? Welcome to Raving with Rua here on my YouTube channel, Songs from the Rua Room, promoting singer-songwriters from Belgium and beyond, as you know. Thank you all for joining. If you are on live, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there. It helps build the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, you can like the page and go to Instagram and all that good stuff. As always, the tip jar, the virtual tip jar is open there. Should you like to drop a few shekels into the pot, all those links are below, as usual. Yeah, episode number 9 is brought to you today, as always, by my dear friends over there in Kansas, G-Sharp Guitars, the world's finest travel electric guitars. I'm going to go over all the way to LA, all going to plan. Guest on the show tonight is the wonderful Garrison Starr, and I first heard Garrison Starr sing. I think I was watching a DVD of Steve Earle, and it was a live show he was doing, and suddenly this singer came on to sing a song with him, and I was like, wow, who is this girl? This is what a singer. And that's many years ago. Maybe she remembers it, maybe she doesn't, but that was my first introduction to Garrison Starr. And then many years passed, and last summer I ended up sharing the same festival bill as her, and so I was a bit nervous. But she is as lovely as she is talented, and so happy that she could join me for a chat all the way from LA. Let's see if she's here. Good morning, America. How are you? Hello
Good
there.
morning, my friend. How you doing?
Very well. Thanks so much for being here, Garrison Starr. How are you?
Oh, dude, thanks for asking. I do remember. I don't remember meeting you with Steve Earle, but I do remember the festival we shared.
Yeah,
And
I wasn't at the Steve Earle gig. It was just I was watching a DVD. You were singing a
oh,
duet song
okay.
with him on that DVD, and
Yeah. Oh, that's
you were
right.
probably, what was it?
Um. Whoa, it was I was it. What was the name of the
A
song? Was it
good
I
a good
Remember
question.
You?
Even yeah,
I
I
think it
think
was
it
I
was that
Remember
I
You.
remember you. Yeah.
And originally, Emmylou Harris had sang sang whatever on his record, and then when I was out on tour with him, I stepped in and started covering some of her parts on tour with him, which was really fun.
I
That was one
can
of my favorite tours I've ever done.
I can
We had a lot
imagine.
of fun.
Were
Yeah,
you were
his
you were,
dog bit me in the shoulder.
were you on the same record label as him at the time, or how did that come about?
No, we had the same manager at the time.
I see.
Yeah, Dan Gillis was managing Steve, and also started managing me. And so that's how we initially got together. But Steve and I had known each other for a while because his good friend Alyssa was also my good friend. And so yeah, we had a couple of mutual friends, and Steve and I have known each other a long time. He's a good dude.
Ah, yes. I only met him once in
Yeah.
Oslo, Norway, but he's a nice man.
Yeah,
He
he'll talk your
absolutely
ear
is.
off. That's for
You'll talk
sure.
your ear off. Well,
Yeah,
that's
he
what you
likes to
have to do
talk.
tonight. You have to talk our ear off, because
Yeah, no
yeah, I
worries.
will. I know you can do it. I know you can do it.
Fortunately, I also like to talk, so I got you.
Nice one, babes. Nice one. What time is it there in Los Angeles? It's early in the morning for you, no?
11:04.
That's
Not bad.
musicians early.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
musician time for sure.
it is. Yeah, you were saying you were up a bit earlier anyway to do another interview this morning.
I did. Yeah, I had an interview this morning with a nice lady from Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm going on the road. Actually, I'll leave Wednesday morning to start a 2-week tour with Sean McConnell. So I'll be out in the West opening for Sean, and we'll be singing some songs from our new project, My Sister, My Brother. Our first single came out here in January, and then hopefully later in the year I'll be getting my record out, Girl I Used to Be, as
Yeah,
well. So
you're a busy,
should be
busy
a
woman.
busy year. Should
Yeah,
be a busy year,
yes,
yeah.
indeed. And tell me a little bit about the newest project, the one you just mentioned.
Well, that kind of got bumped up to a high priority in the chain because we ended up, me and Sean and our friend Peter, who's also in the band, we were set up on a co write at a writing camp in Nashville through Concord Music Publishing. and we ended up writing a song called Nothing Without You, and that single just came out last week, Friday, I believe, or Thursday, Friday. But anyway, we ended up, excuse me, writing an EP full of songs based around that one song, and a label in Nashville called Soundly Music, S like sound LY, ended up getting excited and they put it out. So yeah, so
Marvelous.
we're
But
hitting the ground running.
that's fantastic. Great news.
Yeah,
But I mean, am I right in saying that you've over 15 albums yourself out
probably.
around that? Yeah.
Yeah, there's some random stuff. I mean, I once I was fully independent, I think I kind of started just putting out some random
Yeah.
stuff, just trying to find my way through being an independent artist. But yeah, if those count, then yeah, there's probably 15 or so, I'd say.
Amazing. Such a prolific writer you are. Now, I know you've
Oh,
co-written as
thanks.
well. You co-write
Hmm.
quite a bit, or
I
kind of 50
do.
50.
Yeah. Well, it's more. It's probably 85-15, to
Okay.
be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to only write by myself. And then several years ago, to be honest, really just to try to invest some more money or invest, some more time in my songwriting business to get to a point where hopefully the songs could start generating some income so I
Which
could afford to be an
Yeah,
artist,
which is happening for
That's
you. From what I've seen and what I've read, you're landing songs now on TV shows and all kinds of
yeah.
movies. Yeah, just speak a
Yeah.
little bit about that. How did that come about, or is that something that's been happening a long time?
Well, it's something I started really building equity in probably 5 or 6, 7 years ago. I have a friend, well, really since 2007 or 8, I guess. So yeah, 10 years ago or so. I was living in Nashville and I was
Hmm.
just kind of down in the dumps and I wasn't really doing anything. I think I just kind of felt like I don't know what my career's doing. I kind of feel like a failure. I don't know what's going on. And then I had a friend in New York, Nene Camps,
Hmm.
who ended up calling me and was like, "What are you doing? Are you doing anything?" And I was just like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do." So Nene's like, "Listen, her wife, is a head of licensing now for Concord Records or Concord Music. And at the time it was a different company. But anyway, Nene was like, look, why don't you come up here and let's write some songs together and let's just start making some money, like with, TV and film. And I had never done that. And so I did. We started writing stuff and we started getting some placements. And once I realized, how lucrative that could be, I decided, well, I need to, start diversifying and investing in this part of my business, because as we
Yeah.
know, as artists and especially as independent artists, capital without that, you really can't do anything.
Exactly
So
right, and you also have
yeah.
a thing. It's probably more popular in the states than it is here. But you have a Patreon linked to your
Yes.
Garrison's
Yes.
websites down there. Well, how does that work? How
Oh,
does
thanks for
Patreon work?
mentioning that. I always forget to mention
Hmm.
Patreon. Well, Patreon's interesting, it's something that I'm still kind of figuring out how to use. I feel like it's a powerful platform in terms of being able to, monetize your art and also create unique experiences for fans. I think it's really good for somebody like me who just over the past like 10 years hasn't really been touring as much as I used to, and people aren't able to see me as much. So it's also been a fun way for me to connect with people and
Yeah.
to have something to look forward to and have something to, kind of to just play around with, like it
Yeah, and
gives me
it's
some projects to work on. So I'm not just sitting around like,
uh-huh.
you know what I
And
mean?
that's kind of how it
So
works. You give them back some sort of little bits and pieces of your art,
yeah,
and
I
they
try to
donate to
stick
you.
to
Hmm.
yeah, like I just have 3 tiers, like, just it's very simple. The highest you can even pledge unless you wanted to pledge more is
Yeah.
$25. And so I try to keep it real simple for myself so I don't overcommit to stuff that I can't deliver. But it's fun. It changes, I'm a little bit inconsistent with it, but it's also really fun. I sometimes do different stuff during the month, and I try to give people who are donating more a little bit more fun, and exclusive
Yeah.
experiences. So yeah, it's a cool thing.
It's a cool thing.
Patreon.com. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get links from your website. I assume
Yes,
GarrisonStar.com.
definitely. Yeah. I think
Definitely.
it's on the front page. Thanks for mentioning that. I
No
appreciate
problem. I know
that.
how it is as independent artists. We need
Yeah.
all the help we
Help
can
we
get.
can get.
Every shekel helps. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
whether you're a well-established artist these days or starting out, we all need that little financial boost because there are no record labels anymore.
That's
As
right.
such. Um,
Well, and also, I've realized that I think a lot of people really want to support artists. They want to. I mean, they'll do anything. They don't know how it works. They don't know that sometimes you're getting paid a door deal, which means you get paid nothing. They don't know how things work. And if they did, they'd be horrified. I mean, they'd probably send you monthly checks.
They would
So I
if they
think,
knew.
yeah, so I think people are really looking for ways to support artists now, but they just sometimes don't know, everybody's busy and doing their own thing. So you really have to tell people without, going too deep into it. I think you got
Yes.
to tell people what's going on and let them know, how they can support you, you
Yeah,
know?
and I think and it's not so easy as an independent artist, to come out and go, I need some financial help, especially because
Correct.
a lot of it is perception too. They'll see someone like Garrison Starr who's done all this
That's
work in the
right.
past and has all these albums out or whatever, and they kind of go, well, she must be fine, which is
Right.
not always the case.
Yeah.
You may be
Yeah,
better off
that's
than other
right.
musicians, but you still need that people to come to shows and buy records to pay for the tour.
That's correct.
All of that background stuff is what kind of the general public sometimes forgets about.
That's correct. Yeah.
Even though you may be a well-known artist, it doesn't mean you're on the ladder to financial success.
Correct. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Slow Crawl. One of my favorite songs lined up here to play for our listeners.
Nice.
If that's okay with
Well,
you.
yeah, for sure. Man, I wrote that song with a guy whose name I can't remember right now. That's embarrassing. Who's the co-writer on that?
Yeah, you can check that, or you can tell me
Hold
after.
on.
We can play it first, and you can
Yeah,
tell me
I
after
will.
too. That's
Okay, that's
fine.
fine. I'm so embarrassed that I
No,
can't remember,
yeah, but
but
you've written a lot of songs, guys. So
uh
don't be hard on yourself.
thanks. Well, anyway, I wrote this song with a dude, and I'll have to tell you what his name is in a minute. I can't think of his name right now, but I remember I was living in Laurel Canyon with my friend Joey Ryan, who's one half of the Milk Carton Kids. Joey had an apartment they had like a built-out studio apartment in their basement in Laurel Canyon, and I was moving back to LA 10 years ago or so, and I was living there and invited this dude. I had a co-write with this guy, and he came over, and I had the idea for the song, and it was just, I think the song lyrics are pretty self-explanatory. It's about, what it takes, to do the work and to keep persevering, regardless of hardships in this business and in life in general. So,
Absolutely, and I love the
yeah.
video too.
Yeah, I was gonna
Do you remember who
say,
produced it?
yes, Adrienne Gonzalez. She goes by AG. She's an
AG.
amazing producer, and we've written a ton of songs together. In fact, I just got a big placement in the international trailer for the Mr. Rogers movie, and Adrienne and I wrote that song, and she produced that. So she's really talented, and she produced, directed and produced the video. And it was a one shot. It actually ended up being two shots, but it was
Really, just two
intention. It
takes.
was, yeah, it was originally intended to be a one shot video, and there were 50 people involved. So it was pretty awesome. I have to say,
I
I have to
I
say,
like it a lot. You looked like a lot of
yeah, I'm
fun.
really proud of that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, let's listen to Slow Crawl here, folks, from Garrison Starr, and
awesome.
when we come back, she'll tell you exactly who she wrote this song with. Won't you, Garrison?
Oh yes, I will. I'm looking it up right now.
Camera set.
Only questions, only time. Will you be mine? Wet your lips behind your prayer. Will you be there? Turn your eyes to me. Shine the barrel of your new gun. Wouldn't it be nice if we
cut. Beautiful. Wow,
Yeah.
that was
What
beautiful.
was my hair doing in that video is what I want to
Good
know.
question. You were dark.
Oh my God. I'm still trying to find this guy's name. It's Kevin something. He's a singer-songwriter. I
Oh,
can't
what a
believe it.
song! What a
Whatever.
song! Amazing. And
Yeah,
you know that
thanks.
line, "There's a ground war coming, baby." I mean, it's just you probably don't want to talk about anymore about wars and America's wars and
Oh,
stuff. I know it's a subject that annoys most Americans. You know.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a weird climate over here right now. And
Hmm.
I mean, I can't stand Donald Trump. I mean,
I
I'll
know
scream
that.
it from the mountaintops. He's awful. I
That's
just
why I
don't
mentioned. Yeah,
understand.
it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over here, but I can tell you, it's a shit show.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable. And what do you think? You know, okay. Do you think this impeachment will go ahead, or will it be stopped, or how
Well,
do you feel about that? Or
I just don't understand it. I mean, to be honest, I don't really understand how it even works. I don't
yeah,
understand like what it really means that he's being impeached because nothing is really changing over
no,
here.
not
It's just
yeah.
sort of
Nothing's
like,
been done.
are they going to present the articles? I don't even know what that means. I don't
I
understand
know.
why it blows my mind like the things that he says every single day that people can even get behind it. I mean, to me, what it all comes down to is, it really people's greed and selfishness has
Hmm.
become more transparent than ever. And also the role of fundamentalist Christianity and how that plays into, the support of Donald Trump, because at the end of the day, to me, that is a mentality of lack. It's a mentality of fear. It's a mentality of exclusivity. And it boggles my mind that no one, well, more people in the Christian community are stepping up to say, look, this has gone too far. You know what I mean? Maybe we were scared about abortion, but now this has gone too far. You know what I mean? We kind of have to call BS on that because,
Yeah.
I mean, Donald Trump is clearly not a Christian, and clearly fundamentalist Christianity no longer has anything to do with Jesus.
Here, here.
So,
Absolutely.
I
Well
don't
said.
even, yeah, I mean, I do not associate myself with fundamentalism at all, and I grew up in it. But
That was my yes. I was going to
yeah,
swoop into the next point and talk.
yeah,
And I
come
said
on,
let's go with that story and
come
your
on.
personal story with religion and what it was like as a teenager and before we go into the devil and me. But
Yeah.
if you don't mind, let's just talk about that for a moment.
No, not at all. So I grew up in Northwest Mississippi, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. So I grew up in a small town that I love. I mean, I had a wonderful experience growing up in a small town and growing up in Memphis, to be honest. But my parents are fundamentalist Christians, and everybody in my community was a fundamentalist Christian. And I went to private Christian school, and it was very conservative and evangelical, which to me is fundamentalism. I'm sorry, that's what it is. So I went to, private Christian school, and ever since I was really young, I was aware of the fact that I was gay. I think I had a feeling, and
Yeah.
I was very perceptive as a young kid, and I think realizing this about myself, I became very astute in terms of, being aware that people might be looking at me, or did they know it was a secret? Oh my God, I was ashamed, and so for a long time, I just learned, well, I can't talk about this
Hmm.
in my own community. I certainly can't tell my parents, and I can't tell my friends because I hear the way they talk about those gays, and I
Those.
hear the way they talk about those blacks and whoever else they thought
Yeah.
was not as
Wow.
good as they were, or who didn't, who wasn't good enough to be in the club. So I held on to it for a long time, and I dated guys, and I, just kind of like I struggled through, trying to figure out, I didn't even know what it meant to be gay, but I knew that it was bad, at least
Yeah.
that's what I was learning. And so, long story short, I got into college and then ended up, just deciding to have a girlfriend, and we had to keep it a secret. She was engaged to a man. I mean, it was really messed up. And
Wow.
so finally, somebody found out, and then we were outed, and then that became a huge scandal, and we were asked to not participate in the church groups and all this stuff. And my parents ended up bringing me home from school because I think they were trying to protect me.
Yeah.
I mean, my friends wouldn't speak to me. They literally
My God.
were given instructions by their religious teachers, like, give them tough love until they repent of their
Oh my
sins,
God.
which, as you know, is like, I mean, whoever came back to a place where they were abused. I mean, I don't know. I guess people do that, but not me. You know what I mean? I was just like, y'all can
Yeah.
fuck off. You know what
And
I mean? I'm not
and
doing
how
this.
yeah and how did you finally escape that scene that
I moved to
situation?
LA.
You just moved.
I moved to Memphis first of all. I saved up. I'd saved up some money playing some gigs, and so I ended up moving to Memphis. Got my own apartment, and it was a little bit sad because I was kind of estranged from my parents. I mean, we talked and stuff, but it was like there was stuff there. There was a rift between us. So
Are you an only child, Garrison?
I am.
Are you?
I am, yeah. So that was tough too, because there was a lot of pressure, especially from my mom, who was confused, and and my grandmother, who was very tough, and they were not into it, obviously, and I know they were scared and all this, but anyway, I moved to Memphis, and that's when I really dug into my career, my artist career, and I got signed, and then I moved to LA, and I've been here for about 20 years, and so really, I had to move away. I just had to get out of the environment because it was so toxic for me. I just felt like I needed a reset. I don't think I could have gotten through that staying in that place. It's like I had to get away from it, and I'm just happier not being there still.
Well, I can imagine that, and thank you for sharing that story. I know a lot of people will appreciate that you when they hear, if people who are in the same situation, for example, will appreciate that there are other people, of course, in the world who have been in the same situation or worse.
Yeah, to be honest, that's why I really started talking about it, because I realized, number one, there's power in vulnerability. Thank you, Brene Brown. There's power in vulnerability, and I always thought that the anger was where the power was, but that's not the truth. The anger sometimes prohibits people from hearing your message. I feel like the truth is, softening up and saying what's really going on. And I think once I started talking about it, in a way where some of the sting had gone out of it for me, because I've done a lot of work around it, you start to forgive and you start to have compassion and empathy. And then you realize, okay, I need to share this story, because there are, like you said, there's people out there who are in my same situation. They don't even have to grow up in the church. Maybe their parents just don't like the idea of their kid being gay. I mean, a lot of people are homophobic and not religious. You don't have to be religious, but I do think for a lot of people that I know, the religion was where it started, either the shame and the guilt and the, ostracization. But you know what I'm saying? So to me, I know a lot of people who come from where I come from and struggle with the same stuff. But yeah, thanks for saying that. I hope it helps someone.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. And I remember you, when we did this gig in Holland together, I remember you mentioning this and then going into a song called The Devil in Me. I assume it's related to that story.
Yes, it is. Exactly. That's exactly what it's about. Believing that for so long, believing that something was wrong with me because I was gay, and looking back on that and realizing how much time I spent beating myself up about that. I mean, that's heavy to look back on. That's a sad thing, but it's also something that, you have to just work through and move forward,
Yes, it is. And
just self-acceptance, really.
And pat yourself in the back for doing so. I mean, you don't mind me saying it's courageous what you did and how you dealt with it. I admire it.
Thank you.
This song you performed, I think it was literally the same week that we met in person for the first time in Holland, I believe.
That's right. Yes.
Or somewhere around that time.
That's right.
So let's give it a spin. This is The Devil in Me, and from the brilliant Garrison Starr folks, live in the Netherlands in Limpe. Okay.
Limde, yeah.
Limpe. Here we go.
I thought I'd built up my skin, but standing here I'm feeling paper thin. 'Cause you say one little thing and it goes caving in, caving in, caving in. Thought I was in the clear, but I can silence the voices I hear when I face myself in the mirror. I see the years, I see the years, and I lost my youth hiding could never get. Is it over yet? Is it over yet? All that I wanted, I could never get. Is it over yet? Is it over yet? All that I wanted, I could never get. Is it over yet? Is it over yet? All that I wanted, I could never get. Is it over yet? Is it over? I lost my youth, hiding the devil in me, broken too, fighting the devil in me. I lost my youth, hiding the devil in me, broken too, yeah, fighting the devil in me. And is it really you see? Oh yeah, the devil in me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the devil in me. Oh, oh, oh. Oh yeah, the devil in me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the devil in me.
Yes, the devil in me. There's no devil in you anymore. You've been
No.
cleansed.
I've been exercised.
Hallelujah.
I'm free, Lord. I'm free.
I'm free, Lord, I'm free. Wonderful song. Was that also co-write? Do you remember? Or
Yes, actually, it was with my friend Carly Page. And what's funny is she, at the time we wrote that song, she was like 17. And I remember
Really?
her manager is also my manager. And I've been working with her since she was really young. She's now like 22 or something. So we wrote that, maybe she was 19, 18, 19, a couple of years ago. But anyway, she came over and she's a young artist. I was like, let's write something for you. I'm thinking we're going to write something for her, but I had this chorus and she's like, you know what? I don't want to write for myself today. Let's write something for you today. And I just remember thinking, oh, what a bummer. There's no way this kid can know anything about me. She doesn't understand. I mean, she hasn't lived. She doesn't know anything. And we wrote that song. So what I realized that day is, first of all, what a blessing to get to, work with an artist who can help me say those things that I needed to say.
Wow.
And, also you just can't judge, you can't assume that somebody doesn't know, how to relate to you because, that's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. So,
and that's 17. Oh my God.
yeah, she's a talent, man. She's an
Wow.
old soul. So,
Seth Cutler is here. Kevin Devine was your co-writer for.
Yes,
Wow.
Kevin
Seth is on the
Devine.
ball.
Ah, dude, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Kevin
Seth.
Devine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really talented. I don't know what he's been up to either, but he's really talented. So yeah.
Well, look at guys. Thank you, Seth, by the way, for joining in, and thank you everybody else who's in here. We've got viewers from Belgium, of course.
Seth Cutler.
Seth Cutler. That was
Seth
from
Cutler, he's my
Yeah.
buddy. He lives a mile away from me. He has a wonderful house concert series, Seth and Tony's house concerts.
There you go.
He's
Thank you,
awesome.
Seth.
Oh, hey Seth, thank you so much,
We-
man.
Yeah, we have got Tim from Belgium as well, and we have.
Oh, thanks, Tim.
Yeah, and Anagine is there as well, saying she loves the sound of your voice. Thanks, Anagine, for
Oh,
joining
thank
us.
you, Anagine. What a pretty name. I've never heard that name.
Yeah, nice,
Anagine.
yeah, nice girl too.
Yeah, oh,
So
good.
yeah,
good.
she sounds found. Come here to me. You're coming out to Europe soon.
Yes.
Aren't you?
I leave for the UK on February 5th, arrive on the 6th, and we'll be there until the 23rd in the UK, Germany, the Netherlands. We're also playing Sweden, which I've never been to
Wow.
before. So I'm very
You're-
excited. We're playing a couple countries. I have to look, but we're playing a couple of countries that I've never been to before. I am so
You must be
excited.
very excited. I know. Yeah, is it the Paradiso in Amsterdam on the 15th?
I believe
think
so. Here-
Everything is on
I
your
knew you were
.com,
gonna
guys.
ask me these
yeah,
things.
but listen,
I should have
I
pulled
researched
this
that,
up.
but I think it's. I was looking at your.
Oh, please.
That's kind of your closest.
I got it right
gig
here.
To me.
Yeah, so we start out in the UK. We do Bristol, Glasgow, Belfast, Dublin, Manchester, London, then Amsterdam, Berlin, Hamburg, Kristianstad
It's that.
in Sweden. Stockholm, so exciting. Falkenberg, and we end in Oslo, Norway. Never been to Norway and never been to Sweden. I'm so excited. And I've only been to Ireland once for a wedding in October.
Wow.
So,
well, I can give you a few tips on Oslo and Dublin, so we can correspond.
Yeah, let's do. Are you gonna cut? Am I gonna see you? Am I gonna see you?
I will perhaps try and make the Amsterdam gig. That's closest to me.
Okay. Well, you need to.
But I'd love to. If not,
we can talk about
Germany.
this.
Yeah.
You got to let me know so I can put you on the guest list.
I would love to come and see you at the show because I'm a fan.
I know. I'm a fan of you too. You'll love Sean as well. You will love him. He's an amazing human and he's an incredible songwriter. So. Will you see our friend Miriam this time in Holland? I hope so. Yeah. I got to reach out to Miriam. I'm hoping. I've been meaning to text her to tell her Happy New Year. So I'll do that. I'll do that now because I'm hoping Miriam's going to be able to make it out.
Brilliant. So you're somebody asking, are you coming to Belgium? There's nothing on the Belgian list this time. Is there maybe soon?
No, no, we're not coming to Belgium. Like I said, we'll be in the UK.
Yeah, all over.
Ireland.
Holland's probably the closest. Yeah.
Holland will be the closest. Yeah. The Netherlands. Yeah.
The Netherlands.
Yeah, we're only playing one show in the Netherlands, and it's in Amsterdam at the Paradiso. Yeah, and then Berlin after that.
Can I request a song?
Yeah. What do you got?
Please. I want to hear "Tough Girl." That's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I came that song you brought out probably only a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was on a little EP called or record. What If There Is No Destination? Yeah, I'll have those.
It's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard.
Thank you.
And I mean the lyrics of it are kind of very self-explanatory too.
Well, what's interesting is. Yeah, well, thank you. My friend Jeremy Silver and I wrote that song with an artist named Liz Hewitt, and that's an example of a song that I definitely thought was going to be for her, and she didn't end up cutting it. And I was looking back through songs, and I found that song. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this? Like, this is my song. I mean, this is my song. So yeah, so
absolutely
it was
has you written all over it.
I know.
Yourself that when you. Well, I know as well from experience that sometimes if you hear a voice on a guitar and it comes across the way it does in this particular video, this is just you on your sofa singing into this microphone, and when it comes across as powerful as it does with just the voice and guitar, I think we know we're onto something powerful then. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. I mean, if I want to sit there, if I pick up my guitar to play a song like intentionally, then I know it's a good song. You know what I mean? Then I know it's something because. Because I write so many songs and most of them I never come home and play again. But when it's something that hits me like that, where I know it's mine and I know, it's for me, then when you're just sitting there and you can't wait to play it by yourself on the acoustic, I agree with you. I think that that's where the shit is.
That's what happened when I heard "Tough Girl" for the first time on that EP. I was like, immediately blown away by it, and I just thought like this song has everything a song needs, if that makes sense.
Oh, thank you, man. That's such a huge compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, again, I'm just being honest with you. I'm a reasonably good judge of songs after all these years. But let's see what the listeners think, guys. If you're watching live wherever you are, just let us know where you're watching. This is the brilliant Garrison Starr and one of my favorite songs called "Tough Girl." Let's give it a blast.
If I needed you to hold me up, would you run to me, run to make it better? And if all the shine wears off when I'm not enough, would you stay with me, say it doesn't matter? Oh, this world takes its toll. If you have to cry, don't let it show. I always have to be the tough girl, but never let them in too much, girl. You better do it on your own, 'cause no one's gonna do it for you. Always have to be the strong one, never really let my guard down. Ever since you came along, I've been thinking I was wrong. Maybe I don't have to be tough girl. Maybe I don't have to be a tough girl, yeah. When all my chips are down, would you call my bluff? Would you take the pain and put it on your shoulders? When everyone else would quit, would you be the one who won't? Because all you wanna do is change the way I always had to be the tough girl. I never let them in too much, girl. You better do it on your own, 'cause no one's gonna do it for you. Always had to be the strong one. I never really let my guard down. Ever since you came along, I've been thinking I was wrong. Maybe I don't have to be a tough girl. Maybe I don't have to be a tough girl, yeah. Oh, this world takes its toll. I just wanna cry, let it show, let it show. Always had to be the tough girl. Never let them in too much, girl. Better do it on your own, 'cause no one's gonna do it for you. Always had to be the strong one. Never really let my guard down. Ever since you came along, I've been thinking I was wrong. Maybe I don't have to be. Maybe I don't have to be. Maybe I don't have to be a tough girl. Maybe I don't have to be the tough girl. Maybe I don't have to be the tough girl. Ooh, the tough girl, yeah.
Stunning song, absolutely.
Thank you.
We're getting goosebumps from Belgium, and Luke says
I
it's
know.
a great song as well. It's just,
Oh,
yeah,
thanks,
it is.
Luke. Thank you so much.
Seth says Yahoo.
Seth.
Seth the man.
Seth is the man.
What a it's just so, I don't know what's the word, not simple, but simple and effective, I guess. It just says exactly what.
Simple's good. I like that. I
So
think
do I.
simple is.
Nail-
I think
nail
that's
on
a
the head.
huge compliment, and it's real hard, as you know, to
Very
write
difficult.
songs that are simple, but they're not easy. I think writing simple songs is probably the hardest thing you can do, to get rid of everything except for the thing that needs to be there. You know, it's a tough. I mean, it takes work to do that, I think.
It sure does. I'm going to be a little bit. I could talk to you for about 3 hours, but I won't. I promise I won't keep it too much longer.
Oh no, I'm happy to be with you, man.
I know you are. You're very generous with your time. But I was going to ask, is that your? I'm looking at the lovely guitars behind you, and is that your home
Oh, yeah.
studio, or is that like?
Yep,
you
this is
just-
my home
Is
studio.
it?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's the kick drum, that if you can see the kick drum in the background.
There's a kick drum over there, right?
Over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
kick
yeah,
drum
look
that
at
was
it.
in Slow Crawl.
Hanging on the wall.
Yeah, hanging on the wall. They gave it to me. So
Oh, from the video. Slow
yeah,
Crawl.
that was from the video.
Ah,
Yeah, that's
brilliant.
from the video itself up there. So I
Wow.
keep it. It says Slow Crawl on the front. You can kind of see it from the side. but
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed you were on that last video. You were playing a lovely Guild guitar, but I think Martin is your
Oh, yeah.
main weapon of choice, is it? You can bring it over
you
if you
know,
want to. Yeah. Just for
let's
the
see.
guitar geeks, if you
Oh,
want
the
to.
Guild. Well, the Guild is inside. Actually, I took it inside because we
that's
went out of
fine.
town for a couple of days, and my studio is not insulated, so I take the acoustics in
Yeah,
when
bring
we're
it.
not
What's
here.
the guitar behind you?
Oh, that's my. Oh, well, that's a good story. Hold on.
Can you reach it?
Let me see.
Mind
Yeah,
your
I can get
earphones.
it.
Yeah.
I've got my extender here. You weren't really supposed to see me from the
Oh,
waist
just show
down
me.
because
Before you sit down, show me the
I got my
show me
sweatpants.
show me the new coffee table as well. That's really great.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
look. So this is a. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
it looks like a cassette tape, and the company is called TAYBLES Tables.
TAY.
BLES, yeah, and they make all kinds of these coffee tables that look like mixtapes, and so my friend Rick Seibold has one, and we work together a lot. So I asked him where he got it, and actually they gave him one because they did a commercial at his house, and they accidentally gave me the most expensive one when I ordered the cheapest one. So I got it. So this is my very first real guitar that I got. It's a Martin D1E, which I would never buy again because it has these ugly ass electronics that broke.
Oh, wow.
That broke within the first year. So I got to have a little bit of work done on this guy because the pickup has a short in it too. So I can't travel with it right now, but it sounds really good. Like,
it does. Sometimes the live songs don't translate very well, but I think it probably will. Will you do a song live? If we'll try it.
Absolutely.
If it's not, whatever you feel like, just
you have any requests? That's okay. Don't hurt
What
yourself.
about something kind of recent? Maybe something that was landed on a TV soundtrack or something that's easy to play, or is there anything like that that's kind of, or from your new project?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on a sec. Let me grab
wonderful.
grab a capo here.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Sometimes the live thing doesn't come across the Wi-Fi very well, but you've got a very good setup there, so I think it should work.
Let's try this. What about, I'll do this song called Downtown Hollywood. This is one of my favorite ones. It's on the new record coming out this year at some point.
Wonderful.
I wrote this song with my friend Travis Howard. All right, let me know what this sounds like.
I will.
Hold on, let me just give that a little love.
It's gonna work.
She was slender and free. Her eyes were quiet and clean. She had a kind of say what you mean way of dealing with people. And I'd see her around whenever we were both back in town. At some friends of friends' house from back in the old days. Downtown Hollywood, sleeping with the stars. We were anything we wanted. It was us against the world. We were rising, we were falling. It was reckless and naive. The way we cashed it all in downtown Hollywood. Oh, 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 yeah. Hey, well, it takes a little money and luck to keep a child from growing up, and just a little undeserved applause keep him from thinking he has to. Well, you could have been the next Joan Jett. I might have been Fred Astaire. For right then and there, we were as famous as anyone. Hey, yeah, downtown Hollywood, sleeping with the stars. We were anything we wanted. It was us against the world. We were rising, we were falling. It was reckless and naive. The way we cashed it all in downtown Hollywood. Hey, 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 yeah. Hey, oh, it's us against the world. If we're gonna die, gonna live forever. If we're going down together. If we're gonna die, gonna live forever. If we're going down together. Never gonna die, gonna live forever. If we're going down together. Never gonna die, gonna live forever. In downtown Hollywood.
If we're going down together. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Wow.
love that line.
I love that song. And that's
Thanks, man.
very new.
Did I send you the record? I'll send it to you.
Please do.
When we get off here, I'll email you.
Or we can do it in
a
person.
link.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Because I really hope we can hook up in.
Me too. I'll have
Holland or
vinyl in
Germany.
Europe.
Ooh,
I will have vinyl in Europe. So if you're If you come out, I'll give you one.
Fantastic. That's so nice of you.
Of course.
So, a quick recap, please, on the tour dates. You everything is on GarrisonStarr.com.
Yep.
But you're leaving when?
I'm leaving Wednesday morning for these 2 weeks that we're doing in the West here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And then I'm leaving. I'll be landing in the UK in London on February 6th, and for 2.5 weeks we'll be bumping around in Europe. So come see us, please.
Absolutely, please do yourselves a favor, folks, and check out a Garrison Starr show. And
please,
like, how will you get around now? Do you have like a big massive tour bus with 50 people in the entourage?
I think you know the answer to that question. No, man, we're hustling. We're gonna drive around in Sean's Subaru for the next 2 weeks, and then in Europe we will have a tour manager and some sort of transportation, although it will likely not be a double-decker tour bus. With
Sean's Subaru sounds like a good Irish song.
I know.
It does, really.
Sean's Subaru.
Give a shout out to the lady I was emailing with earlier. She was a great Irish name.
Katie O'Leary.
Katie O'Leary.
Yes.
Yeah, she said she wasn't Irish, but I didn't believe her.
No, I know, right? I mean, she doesn't know. She
Yeah.
down the line, maybe she is. You don't know.
Yeah. So
I mean, O'Leary is about as Irish as it gets.
It is. She's it is
right?
indeed.
Yeah.
As Irish as it gets, that name.
Yeah,
And
it's about as Irish as Molly Malone. How many venues are there all over the world called Molly Malone's?
I know. A little bird tells me that you're partial to a little sup of whiskey as well from time to time.
Oh, yes. I do like that.
So
it gives me wicked acid reflux, but it doesn't stop me. It does not stop me.
We don't worry about that. No, we might have to have a little dram when we see each other.
Yes, we will, please.
In Europe soon.
Please.
That would be lovely. I'm gonna play one more song before saying goodnight to you. And I just picked "Put Your Weapon Down." It's an official video, I believe.
Oh man, yeah,
cool?
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Which album is this from?
"Put Your Weapon Down" is also on the record called "What If There Is No Destination," and I will have those CDs with me in Europe. That has "Tough Girl" on it, the lucky one.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, "Put Your Weapon Down." Yeah, it's got some good ones on there.
I love this. Anything you want to mention about the video itself, or do you remember much about it?
Yeah, I remember. No, my friend Brian Muir directed it. He's really talented. He's been doing a lot of stuff with Sarah Bareilles over the last couple of years, doing a lot of tour videos for her. And he has a media company out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they're amazing. So yeah, Brian Muir, Bryan. His last name is Mir, like the Mir space station, MIR.
I love how Americans say you have a song, rearview mirror. I love the way you say. You don't say mirror, you say mirror.
Well, that's partially Southern. I mean, I also say OIL. I also say ol and bowl. And my partner Renee makes fun of me all the time. She's like, what do you do when you put water on the stove and you turn it up? What is it called? I'm like, you mean bowl? She was like, She loves it.
Loves it. Fantastic. Oh, good. Right. Here is, did we say it was? Yes. Put Your Weapon Down. Love this. Garrison Starr, folks.
Your heart is not open. I just wanna hold you. How can I get close? I hear all the words unspoken. How can I get close when you won't let go? I could be your shoulder. The cold only gets colder. Will you ever come around? Well, I could be your ally, fighting on the front lines. If you could put your weapon down, put your weapon down. Your scars are on the surface. I just wanna hold you. Now you're so exposed. But I hear all the words unspoken. I can't fix what's broken if you won't let it show. I could be your shoulder. The cold only gets colder. But will you ever come around? And I could be your ally, fighting on the front lines. You You're the one who has to try, so lean into me tonight. Come home. Put your weapon down, my love. Put your weapon down. I could be your shoulder. The cold only gets colder. You put your weapon down. I could be your ally, fighting on the front lines. Will you put your weapon down?
Wow, another masterpiece. Beautiful song.
Thanks. My dog just lets herself out, in case you're wondering.
Did she? Okay.
I have two
We
dogs.
couldn't meet her.
Yeah, I have two dogs, and one of them just kind of lets herself in and out. So it wasn't a
So
ghost.
sweet. I want to thank you very, very much. That's an hour of your life you're never going to get back.
Oh my God. Thank God. No, thank you so much, dude, for having me. Really, I appreciate it. It's good to see your face.
You
And
too.
I hope to see you in a month or so. Really looking forward to that.
Yes, I hope we can get to meet Germany, Holland, I think, all going
Okay.
to plan. But thank you so very, very much for spending this hour with us. I'll say
Thank you,
goodbye to
Di.
you now, and then I'll say goodbye to the listeners. But
Okay.
you have a great day out there.
Y'all too, man. Thank you so much again. I appreciate it.
All the very best, darling. Love you.
You too. Love you too. Bye-bye.
There you go, folks. The wonderful and talented Garrison Starr, all the way from Los Angeles. What a talented lady, and what a great honor to have her here on Raving with Rua, here on the YouTube channel. Lots of people tuned in live, and thank you all very much for doing so. Also, thanks, of course, to the great sponsors here of the show, gsharpguitars.com. Check out their website down below in the links. Indeed, thanks for the lovely music. I've asked the husband me a CD. Okay, we can arrange that again. And thank you everybody for the comments and for tuning in. I will see you next time on the next Raving with Rua, folks. And you take care of yourselves. Have a great week, and see you on the next Raving with Rua.